weeks, he has shown brilliance and belief in equal measure. And after producing the greatest comeback in Crucible history, he's proved he is savouring every single second on the biggest stage of all. So give it up for the Belgian bullet, Luca Brecel.
Have a good session.
And his opponent, one of the all-time greats, a player whose determination has defined his life and career. This four-time champion plays with the heart of a lion, and he is ready to roar his way back into contention tonight. So give it up for the jester from Leicester, Mark Selby.
Good evening, Hazel. Good evening, everyone. And as always, an unbelievable reception here for these two finalists. Smiles all around. Mark waving up at his family in the balcony.
Thank you, frame 9. Luca Brecel to break.
And it's Luca who gets this first frame underway, and this is going to be some session. John?
It is, Dennis, and brilliant atmosphere as ever in the Crucible. And a very important session it is too. Luca's had a great start in this match. He'll be looking to kick on. And Mark will be looking to scrape his way back into it, which we know he's very good at.
He knocked a few of those in this afternoon, but he hasn't done any damage, but a long way off the pot there. I think it's important for Mark to get off to a good start. He doesn't want to let Luca run away from him, because this is some talent. Oh, look at this. Oh, he can get through to it, can he? I think he can. You're down the line of it, John.
Yeah, looks like he can, Dennis. Nothing to do with the cue ball. It's just the judgment of pace, just to bring it back for black. Nearly full ball. Perfect.
Luca looked a little bemused at the fact he sent that red up over the corner pocket, because his tactical play in this match has been excellent, as well as his break building. I mean, he's got off to a flyer with a 77 break, then he had a 90, a 67, and finished with a 70. But his tactical play was also very good.
9.
Yeah, came to my attention properly in the match with Mark Williams, Dennis. I thought he was absolutely outstanding in that match. Mark Williams played very well indeed. Great champion himself, 3 times champion of the world, Mark. And if you beat him here at the Crucible, you certainly know your way around a snooker table. He was very impressive in that match.
$16.
Yeah, I agree with Sean Murphy. I was watching the match this afternoon, and Mark just looked a little tired a couple of the stages. But he is so used to doing it here, John. I think he'd be fine.
Yeah, probably just, needed
20.
a good sleep this afternoon, which he probably had. As I say, it was a long match, late finish last night, so all these things. And you have to take into account the matches before. He's played in a tough section, all real good match players he's had to play against.
21.
Nothing's been easy. I thought he was magnificent in his match with John Higgins. John Higgins was hitting the ball as good as I've seen him for a long time, but he just closed him out, didn't give him any table time. Not too many people can do that to John.
Beautifully
26.
controlled. That red next to the pink goes.
Yeah, you won't see many
27.
better positional shots than that played this evening. That was an absolute pearler. Nice gap there for Mark to play into. Same thing, plenty of power. Screw back. Should open a few reds out.
Oh, he just caught the red first. He may have ran out of position. He didn't get into the gap that John mentioned. Just have a look at
34.
this. He's caught that first red. If he misses that and gets the gap, they'll open perfectly. There's a one next to the pink, will still go. Yeah, there it is. And it's
35.
safely in the pocket. What a shot that was, by the way.
Yeah, another piece of fabulous cueing. Two great shots in this break already. Yep, I think he means business.
$42. $43.
So he's making Luca pay for that shot where he sent the red over the corner pocket. Almost fluked it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got many qualities as Mark Selby, but one of them doesn't get mentioned too many times is the ability to ignore the scoreboard. He's been behind in a couple of world finals and a long way behind. Hasn't bothered him.
Well, the
51.
first time he won it, back in 2014, he was 6 or 7 frames behind Ronnie O'Sullivan and finished up winning 18-14.
And the other one, of course, was against John Higgins. He was 10-4 down. Came back to win that. So it's a wonderful ability just to ignore that scoreboard
56.
and just keep playing.
There's still a couple of reds available to Mark here. The one you're looking at. And the one just to the
57.
one near the right middle pocket, but what is he, 57 in front, so he's going to need a couple of reds. Might just play the cannon here. Only needed a gentle cannon. That was so well controlled, there was very little could go wrong with the way he played
64.
that. His highest break this afternoon was 64. In fact, this is his highest break now, 64. It was 54 in frame 4.
He's just come slightly awkward on both reds. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, but it's just he doesn't fancy the cannon. If he puts the outside red of the two, it's going to cannon into the other one, so finding it hard to control the cue ball. So he's just going to drop this one in the middle.
65.
And I know he's scoring a few here, Dennis, but he certainly looks sharper, doesn't he? Already this evening than he did this afternoon.
He's controlled that well. Frame safe
70.
now, so he can concentrate, try and get a century.
$71.
I have to say this break has been world class. Shot down the table
77.
to land on the red in the middle pocket was superb, and the pot in the middle itself later on in the break, outstanding. But this is just how you'd want to start a session when you're coming into it 6-2 behind. Top draw.
$85. $86.
It is amazing how many of the multiple world champions seem to be able to start a session with a frame-winning break.
$93. $94.
What a fantastic century break to start this evening session.
100. That's
772 centuries this player's made. He's made 47 this season.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, the best he's looked in this match so far. Both the way he's queuing and the way he looks himself. I agree, he looked a little bit tired in the opening session. Understandable
109.
after where he finished last night with Mark Allen, but he looks like he's right on it here, and this break has been absolute class from start to finish.
Well, he was so relaxed when he came out into the arena and was looking up at his family and friends, and he's certainly up for this.
116.
And as always, you can hear a pin drop in the
121.
Crucible Theatre. And what a start they've had.
$127.
What a clearance that is from Mark Selby, the former 4 times champion of the world. And there's Vicky and his daughter there, they're over the moon. What a start. But he still trails by 6-3.
Thank you. Frame 10. Mark Selby to break.
Yeah, so we saw Mark Selby off his first real chance, make that wonderful 134 break. What will Luca do when he gets his first chance? He's tapping the table because that break-off's put him in a bit of trouble.
What cueing that was. He's not on the black, but I think he can get through to the pink. Must be tight though. Doesn't look to be a lot of room there, but I think he can just get to the potting angle. Yeah, you can see it from that picture. Wonderful.
Absolutely fabulous. Two brilliant shots. Opening red was great, but there was plenty of pressure on that pink as well. Lovely cueing.
Just waiting while Brendan Moore just gets the pink as near to his own
Seven.
spot in the direct line with the blue and brown there.
Eight.
They're just a little awkward, those two reds that are near the black. The black goes into the right corner, which would certainly help things. We'll find out if he
13.
plays for the black this time. He would like to just clear that black spot area, but have to wait
40.
for a couple of shots. And if there's no other reds available, he may have to go into them here. And that could bring the pink into play also. Just depends how he feels. Well, that's how he feels.
Nineteen.
Yeah, tricky part of this, as Bendis has already mentioned, is if he drops this in and gets on the black, can he move the reds away from the black spot? Will the black get tied up?
Thanks.
That looks pretty good.
20.
You can see he's got a slight angle. He was just checking where the black spot is in relation to them two reds. See if he can clear things. Now it just depends. He might not be on it, because if the spot's occupied, it's got to go as close to the white and a direct line behind it. Yeah, he's not going to be on the red.
27.
Shame.
He'll probably just drop this one into the right middle pocket, and it's awkward queuing with the black there. But yeah, he's coming round, you see, to see if it would be a possible free shot. You know, he wouldn't leave anything, only the red he's attempting. So he could rescue the situation here. That looks good to me. Oh, it's turned. That has drifted, because Luca was on his way around the table.
27.
That's the way the old tables many years ago used it, with the nap of the cloth would curl like that. But these fine cloth. They normally run straight, and Luca was on his way around, John.
I've got to be honest with you, Dennis. We've been here for the best part, what, 16 days? It's been absolutely bolt straight, this table. Nothing. There's been no roll-offs, nothing. But that one, well, it's unbelievable, wasn't it? Definitely ducked to the near jaw, that one. Surely not going to be tempted by the red up into the yellow pocket. Well, thought that was possibly the only one he could leave. I'm not saying he's left it, but may have given a chance to Mark Selby.
Yeah, the one to the left of the little bunch. He's looking at that, but that looks very tight. That's the reason Luca played the shot as he did. The only one he could leave was the one he tried to pot, and it is potable. You can take it. See, that won't go. That's why Luca played the shot that he did. But this one will go into the middle or up into the corner. But either, there's an element of risk to it.
Decided that the cut into the middle was too risky because he would have left the red that was over the right-hand middle pocket, so decided to play the harder shot. Played it well, and is slightly hampered by the pink. So this is not totally straightforward. It's one of those awkward distances as well for the bridge hand. Think he's gone far enough.
8.
Just to clip the red in the middle.
Played with lots of right hand striking on the cue ball there to square it up. The natural angle would have taken the white into the green. He's got that one red to the left of the bunch that's potable. It's certainly into the middle pocket. I'm not sure if it goes into the right corner. If it does, that will help the situation. Well, it doesn't go into that pocket. Just lost the cue ball somewhat. And this is a tricky one along the cushion. This is a tester.
40. Selby 14.
I mean, he's made everything look easy in that opening frame, but that was difficult. That was far from straightforward.
Well, believe it or not, that was a lot better shot than it looked. Luca's just played. Sometimes difficult to control those when near the jaws, but couldn't hit that any better.
That was the cannon he was after, and he couldn't have played it any better.
Yep, lovely shot, all made by the first red, getting that perfect angle on the black. Looks simple, but if you don't get it, you can't play the next shot. So what a chance this is.
Nine. 16. Seventeen.
Yeah, come a little straight on this. In fact, just off straight, which is a snooker player's bane. You have to start putting reverse side on things when you get angles like this. Yeah, and because of that, it's just a bit close
24.
to the side cushion for this one.
That one ran dead straight. 25. That one didn't curl. I think a lot of people thought he'd missed that, but he
32.
didn't. This is a wonderful
33.
response after having to sit out the opening frame. He's got such a wonderful temperament, and under pressure he doesn't seem to struggle at all, John.
No, he's very much at one out there at the moment.
41.
And that cue action with the particularly long bridge just gives him so much power. And it takes that cue back. There's just an abundance going through the cue ball. Lots of players these days
48.
going shorter with the bridges for more accuracy. Luca's
49.
not like that, but he's still accurate and gets loads of power.
Oh, this might go up past the blue. What a shot this would be.
56. 57.
I should have known it was over the hole, wasn't it, John? It was just a...
64. 65.
Yep, they're playing some stuff at the moment, these boys.
The action he gets on that cue ball, I mean, he had so much side, he hit too much on it. Just flicked the pink. That's why he's ran slightly out of position. But it doesn't matter where the finish. He's going to knock them in, and he's going to get back in position. What about that for a shot?
77.
Needs to learn to control the cue ball, doesn't he, really? That's a shot.
He's walking around the table. He's playing with a smile on his face. I love watching this player. And I'll tell you, he could make a century because he can move that pink. He's got the perfect angle. Come on, knock the pink out over the pocket. Oh, he can still pot this though.
86.
Are you surprised?
92.
An absolutely fabulous visit to the table. Luca Brecel, take a bow. Absolutely wonderful snooker. What a fabulous break that was.
Luca
The
Brecel.
crowd absolutely love it. You won't see better than that. He leads Mark Selby by 7 frames to 3.
Thank you. Settle down, please. Frame 11. Luca Brecel to break.
What a wonderful 2 frames. 134 clearance from Mark Selby, and then just coming up short of the century with that 99 break. But this is an early long pot, and it is another test if Mark Selby's going to take this on.
Yeah, big shot to take on when you've just seen your opponent clear up the frame before. It's not one you can punch around without getting a cannon. Don't think. Maybe you can get in between that red and black with a element of safety, but the pot itself is hard enough. Here goes.
Well, it was close, and he was perfectly on the black, but there is a red to the left of the pink. That pot's wasn't too far away from that. But there's one to the middle pocket, and there's one either side of the pink available. It's the one to the middle.
One.
Got quite a way to travel though with the cue ball, and has to avoid the bark colours if he takes the blue. As he missed the colours. And the blue back on its spot means you can't take the one above the pink, so. Or can he? He can.
Wow, unbelievable, Dennis. What an exhibition of potting this is. Just drop this red in onto the black. Another great chance. Oh, can you believe it? Can you believe it? That was the easiest shot out of the ones he's had.
One.
He's made very few mistakes in this final so far. Very few mistakes in the semi-final. But just a little lapse in concentration there.
8. Nine.
Yeah, nicely played. Correct side of the blue. And 3 reds available, at least, before he
40.
has to start doing any work with the cue ball. Just had a little look to see if the red at the right-hand side of the cluster was potable into the top left-hand pocket as well. So just working his plan out.
Fifty. $21.
Yeah, so that ping actually takes the other red out of play. Now it's respotted, so he did look before. He's pretty
22.
convinced that the 3 reds that are on the right of the cluster, the bottom one. Presume that does pot. And you can see it does, so that's what he'd be playing for. Well, in a minute.
$29.
And they're a pretty good pack to cannon into if he gets nicely, but he's almost straight here. Had to power that in.
30.
And now he's going to have to play the cannon because he can't hold for the red that John mentioned. But that little gap, see where he pointed the cue? Now he hit the wrong red. And I think it was the first frame. He went on to clear the table anyway, but let's see if he gets the gap this time. Didn't quite get the gap, but I think he's okay. There's a cutback.
37. Touching ball.
Oh, if it's touching, then it's debatable whether he can get through to this red to cut it into the left corner. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to judge. With it being touching, he could foul that red. They're tough to judge, John, aren't they, when they're like that?
Yeah, and of course, people at home, if that red that he's deemed to be touching moves, it will be a foul shot. So technically you've hit it twice, so got to be careful.
He put everything into the pot and forgot a little bit about the cue ball, and now he's faced with a very difficult brown because that red next to the blue is on. Make your mind up time. He's got the yellow also, but whichever, brown or yellow, equally as difficult.
Yep. Proper cueing required for any colour he takes here. Gone back to the brown. Had a look at the yellow. So we'll line up and try and get that cue through as smoothly and as straight as possible. Very easy to flick a bit of side on these. Great pot. Great piece of cueing that.
Well, there was nobody better than this type of shot
42.
than the gentleman sitting next to me. He very rarely missed when he was tucked up in the cushion. I think the key, John, is
43.
keeping the head still, yeah?
Absolutely dead still and making sure you follow through. But that was a beautiful strike and recovered his position. Yeah, that was a very, very big ball, that brown.
50. $51.
Well, the standard this evening is top class.
Yeah, Dennis, Luca just missed that one red. He would have fancied him knocking in. It's going to prove to be very costly.
58.
And Mark Selby missed one frame before and had to sit there and watch a break of 99 come his way. So it's a tough school, as you'd expect at the World Championship.
$59.
And just needs the one more red. Had a quick glance at the scoreboard on the way around the table. Pink will have to go on the highest available spot.
65.
It's the green.
$66.
And you wouldn't put it past him making another century break here. The green's the only stumbling block.
71. $72. $79. $80.
Now, Dennis, will he flick the green out off this one, pop the red and flick the green away from the middle pocket?
87.
Seems like a good idea. He didn't do it. I can't
88.
believe it.
He's going to do it from the pink if it's gone far enough. But it hasn't. He can't do it now. But your shot was the one I thought he would do. He hasn't got the angle there to cannon the green out. So now he may, in fact, leave a double. If he screws back towards the blue, leaves a double.
94.
Because it'd be very difficult to move the green from this position. Well, he might be able to, but no, he fancies a double.
96.
Bit like yourself, John.
Mark Selby.
Almost
96.
pulled off that double, but nevertheless, what a fantastic effort from Mark Selby. That's a 96 break and a clearance of 134. It's 7-4 to Luca Brecel.
Thank you. Take your seats quietly, please. Frame 12. Quiet down now, thank you. Mark Selby to break.
Yeah, more of the same, please, boys. It's been absolutely fabulous. One thing I have noticed, certainly more so this week, Dennis, is because the cloth is so good and so shiny, they just can't seem to get behind the ball colour, can they? Every break-off sort of doesn't get behind yellow or green. So there always seems to be some pot on or easy safety shot because they just can't swing the cue ball in round the back.
The fact that the cloth's so lively, very rarely does the red go and land on the black like it's just done there. Most of the frames, the black's been open early on. And I think that's why we've had so many century breaks. But they might have a little tactical battle here, although he could take this pot on with loads aside, which he's done.
One.
Loads of right hand side to prevent him canning into the bunch there.
Yeah, that was a class shot, wasn't it? But it just looks like it's only going to be for 1 point. Very difficult there. You always almost got to play that. You're missing the play to miss the shot.
Yellow ball.
Because of the amount of side you've got on it.
He doesn't want that yellow to go in.
Mark Selby 1.
You've got to be very careful with these. Thin all day. If you hit them thick, you've got to make sure you've got a great cue ball because you usually knock a red over the corner, which is what he's done. This is potable. It's skinny. But it can happen. If you play those shots and you play them thick, you've got to get a good cue ball.
What it did do was it freed the black up there. It was tied up. Everyone in the crucible was surprised there. It was a thin snick. It wasn't just straightforward, but the cannon on the red could prove costly.
Luca played that with quite a bit of check side there, just to make sure he didn't can anything on the way back up the table.
Four. Five.
Well, we've been talking about all-time greats on the green baize for the last 16 days. Now, there is an all-time great, Roy Keane, here this evening. Loves his snooker.
Yep, he must be loving this, because this is as good as it gets.
10.
And fantastic opening 3 frames. And this particular visit isn't easy. I say 2 reds making a mess around the black spot. Quite a puzzle, this one, at the moment, which is why he's taking a little bit more time.
$11. $17. $18.
Didn't quite get into that. He wanted to screw back about another 6 inches. He should be okay.
24.
Just means he's got to head towards the blue now.
25.
He doesn't want to be straight on the blue, otherwise he's got a problem. And I think he may be. Well, there's a slight angle, and on these very quick cloths, sometimes you can force an angle, and you've got the perfect picture there. You play it with a little bit of side and power it. Look at the angle he created there. Almost straight back.
He could play a shot here where he just pots this into the pack and moves the reds out. He has got the yellow over the corner, so that's your insurance ball. I thought he might have played that.
31.
Where he just went into the pack and opened a few more reds out. As I say, the yellow was always there.
I'll tell you what, he's given himself a great angle on the green to go into the reds here. Here he comes. How's your luck? Oh, look where the white is stuck. He didn't get the cannon as he intended, but still
34.
unlucky to stick on them like that.
Luca Brecel, 34.
Looked as if he played it perfectly, but then, see, he wanted to miss the pink, and then they would have spread nicely. Is he tempting Mark Selby here? That red, if it's tight on the cushion near the left corner, you can come around and have a look at it. If it was tight in the cushion, it's a possibility, but it's a very risky shot. He's not even looking at it. But it's not tight on the cushion. So he's looking at this potential cut into the right corner with safety in mind.
Yeah, I thought initially he was looking whether to clip the red and there was a possible plant with the other two reds onto it with a safety, but I think you're right, Dennis. It must be just a thin clip. And not played particularly well. He needs the blue to come to his rescue here. Pretty tight, but I don't think it has. I think Luca can get through to this.
Luca's having to use the extension because of the yellow. He's got to lean over the yellow. That gives him a little bit more leverage.
The only thing I would say is with the camera behind the pocket, you can always make it look like the ball is actually on. Luca will have obviously the best view of this, so maybe a touch aside.
Great shot.
But not great position.
Green ball. Luca Brecel 1.
Very clever. But he might just be able to see this one that I mentioned before. This is so difficult if he tries to pot this from that distance. It's dead straight. It's the only red he can see. And if he tried a thin safety off it, it'd have to be very accurate. So he might just try and pot his way out of trouble here. No.
Well, I can't believe he hit it that badly, but enough looked like it moved off. Just looked like it completely rolled out. Looks all right there, and then starts, yeah, definitely did. So I think the fitter will be having a look at the table tonight. The one in the middle pocket's rolling in, and that one definitely rolled off.
And have a look at this for a positional shot. What about that one? Wow, this crowd took this Belgian player to their hearts. He does play so much entertaining snooker. It's a delight to watch, John, isn't it?
You know, the funny thing is, Dennis, he's come to one angle that's really horrible. He'd love to screw back, but it's going to cannon the red that's closest. He's leaning over, so he's got to be careful with this. It's just an awkward angle. So he's had to power it through. Yeah, it was far from straightforward, that. And he played a great shot to get on the black, but it just landed slightly awkward.
Can you switch that phone off, please?
I think he can cut this red in to the left middle pocket, but if the black will go into the right corner, this will be some shot, because he'd have to take the white across the table twice. Failing that, he'd have to just... Well, it is, but somehow he's got to get back over that side of the table, so he'd have to come across the table and back there again. And he's thought...
Luca Brecel,
More
8.
about the position than the cut there. That could be costly.
This is actually a really good chance.
One.
Won't be a problem opening the cluster of 3 reds for Mark Selby, so make no mistake, he'll be concentrating fully on this visit because this is a potential clearance.
Let's
8.
just put 2 reds, you see, near the cushion there, which doesn't help.
9.
He played in one of the best frames I've seen in this year's championship in the match with Gary Wilson. He was 58 behind, 4 reds on. He needed 4 reds, 4 blacks and all the colours, and the clearance he made to do it was absolutely superb. I'll be hoping for more of the same here.
60. $17.
I suppose the my good news is being right-handed, that red that's closest to the cushion is okay for Mark. Still need a lot of respect. You
24.
can't power those in, so not out of the woods yet.
$25.
That was, by his standards, pretty weak. Wanted at least another half a revolution of the cue ball there just to drop in behind those reds, but he's come bolt straight. So now the cue ball's got to do a bit of travelling.
He's got the power to get back over to that red. Here it comes. Doesn't want to cannon it onto the cushion.
Yep,
32.
all because of the shot before. You can argue it's a little unlucky to knock that red there, but if he gets the perfect angle off the black, he certainly wouldn't be cannoning that one onto a cushion. So simple little shot, just coming through for the black was a mistake. Now this will be some clearance from here.
Well, he's got a very tricky red along the cushion, especially with the extension on his cue and the extended rest. He might have an angle here to potentially bring that red into play. He certainly can drop in behind it, but if he could move it, it'd be even better, wouldn't it, John?
Yeah, I was wondering myself, Dennis, what he's going to do. Is he going to do that, or is he going to screw in behind it? Played your shot. Good try.
40.
He definitely fancied that. He wasn't far away from bringing it into play.
Yeah, not that easy to get a telling safety shot here where the red is.
Dennis.
Oh, he's hit the black, and it's a
Mark
free
Selby,
ball.
40.
Dear me.
Brecel, 7.
And he
to the
may
black now. 7.
roll the black in as a free ball.
Free ball.
Yeah, it is an interesting one, Dennis. We've seen that middle pocket this evening. Which jaw do you aim for now? Do you go for the centre of the pocket or the far jaw?
Well, yeah, you go for the far jaw. If he takes the black as a free ball, it's like there's an extra red on the table. He's not going to take that. I thought he could roll the black in with the red being safe and then leave himself on the black, but he's going to leave the problem for Mark Selby.
Do you take the chance of trying to get in behind the yellow? Chip the red to the top cushion. It's quite a big target there. Obviously, make sure you don't go in off. But that's not a bad target in behind yellow. Well, he's gone the other way behind the brown. But as long as he lines it all up. Oh, chance missed there. Still a good shot. But he, with 4 colours there, could have had him in a lot more trouble.
It's not straightforward, this, because of where the black's situated. It's on its spot, but if he tries to double the red up towards the yellow, which would be anywhere safe up in that quarter of the table, but the black's in the way of doing that. So he might just have to try and chip this over onto the side cushion. He's caught a bit on the thick side. Oh, it's a funny little angle, this, across the nap of the cloth.
It just shows you, Luca didn't get the snooker, but it actually turned out to be probably a harder shot for Mark Selby to make the reply. Yep, looks easy, but these can be missed. And he'll be very happy where that's finished. Anywhere off the cushion, that was going to be a sitter for Mark Selby, but not where it is now.
Yeah, that shot across into the middle pocket. If you're playing on the club table, you could hammer that in to the middle pockets. It's amazing people still think that these match tables have got big pockets. They may be playing slightly easier, but they're still very tight compared to a club table.
Meanwhile, what do you do with this? Can't play it full ball. You'll hit the yellow. The red will hit the yellow. I mean, do you play... I mean, are you forced into playing it with run inside and trying to take the pot on and hope you get cover with the yellow? This is horrible. He's done well. Very well. A quite incredible shot.
It was well worked out. Oh, he's hit it a bit on the thick side. But this may cut. Luca just caught that much thicker than he intended. Still a thin one. Is it too thin? This looks pretty good. Just about okay. If he can somehow win this frame. 3-1 this mini session, that would have been in his mind at the start.
Yep, 7-5 will look a heck of a lot better than 8-4, that's for sure. Another fascinating frame. Haven't had the big breaks in this one, but it's had the drama.
8.
Couldn't have played that much better. Left a nice angle just to come back for Brown. May need the cue extension. Not happy. He can play this shot just with the cue extension, so out with the rest. Big shot.
Thank you. 11.
How good is this fellow under pressure? He's relentless at times.
Yeah, the only thing I was thinking of is the blue doesn't pass the pink, so he's going to have to play a long blue up in the corner. Because he's finished with the cue ball that side of the brown, he's going to have to screw back and leave a mid-range blue.
50.
So you would think this would be frame ball. One good bit of cueing for 7-5.
Mark Selby has played some excellent snooker here this evening, and he'll be delighted as they go up to the mid-session interval. He won that mini-session 3-1, and now he's just 2 behind at 7-5. There certainly is, Hazel, and it's going to be wonderful.
Thank you. Frame 13. Luca Brecel to break. Settle down now, please. Thank you.
Lovely little piece about our referee, Brendan Moore, who's just getting everyone to settle down. What a referee he has been for the last 19 years from Sheffield. And that's a pretty good break-off shot from Luca.
Nicely played. It's what they call containing safety. Couldn't get any great advantage from it, but that's what happens sometimes. Just come to the table and get out of trouble.
Hasn't been a great deal of tactical play in this evening's session. Both players on top of their form. They get a chance, they're winning the frame. Breaks of 134. 96 from Mark. At 99 from Luca. And there is the breaks in this final so far. You would expect Mark Selby to get the better of the tactical battle, but Luca Brecel has been holding his own in that department.
Foul in this. Mark Selby foul.
I don't think he'll have this put back. He might have a go at a pot into the right corner with safety in mind. He's just having a look at one of the reds there to the left. It will pot past the two reds that are near the black, and the white will be heading up towards the brown. It's what we call a shot to nothing, sort of a free shot you have.
Very good cue ball. Not directly behind the green, but nevertheless good pace.
And he's played exactly the same shot the other side of the table. And he too also nearly got him behind the green. It's a pretty straightforward return to the safety area down the right side of the table. As I said, probably the brown's a slightly better target to get in behind. Bit pacey. Oh, that's excellent. It shouldn't be a problem. There's the average frame time, just over 17 minutes. But that's, if he lands on that red, that's to the left of the black and 2 reds, everything will be safe. He's going for one in the middle. There you see it. And now you don't. Yeah, Mark was hoping to have that white tight on the cushion, but that was still some pot that he pulled off there.
Another fabulous strike. How does he get the cue ball over there? That was nearly straight.
6.
Tremendous to get that punch on the cue ball. Flick the side on.
Seven.
I was thinking a couple of shots ago, Dennis, as Mark Selby was coming out of the safety there, just thinking, well, there's potential to be quite a slow frame, this one. And a couple of shots later, complexion's completely changed. That red in the middle pocket from Luca was a corker.
$12.
Just looking at the pink spot area, it's occupied, I think. So that's the reason that
30.
Luca keeps playing onto the blue. He's coming up a little bit short, but the brown's off its spot. So he should be able to get back between brown and yellow. He could go between green and brown. Doesn't want to catch the jaw. Oh, that's an error. That's a mistake. Unless there's a plant or something on it, could be the end of break. I don't know if he can get past the pink.
I think he can, Dennis. I'm down the line of it. It's a lot trickier from where he is with the cue ball. You're right behind it. You wouldn't see him missing it, but a bit of angle. Good pot.
19.
Yeah, he made that look easy. He's looking now at the pink spot. I think it's occupied and it would have to go on the brown. It's the highest available spot. I don't think the black's available, the black spot. So the fact it's going up onto the brown spot's going to make it a little bit more difficult. Now let's see if the black spot's available. It's the highest available spot, and I think the black spot may just be available.
25.
And if it pots, what a difference that'll be. In the top right hand pocket. And it does.
26.
'Cause that's why he's played that shot.
It looks very tight from that angle, but it clearly pots.
Fantastic shot. I mean, the arc he generated on the cue ball there from something that was nearly straight was incredible. The cue power, fantastic.
32.
Now, wondering this time whether the pink pot's in the top left-hand pocket. No, it doesn't. So he's had a few problems in this break so far, but he's going along nicely considering.
Just depends on the angle here as to whether he can pot the red and just flick the pink into play.
38.
He's got the other one to the left there that he can go back on the blue, but he'd dearly like to free that pink. And he could.
39.
Just a little bit short with the cue ball there. Wanted another 3 or 4 inches just across the table, make this easy. Would have been a simple little stun or screw for the pink. The angle he's left now is awkward.
Oh, where's that white going? It's okay. Just
46.
He's knocked a few into awkward positions there. That's why he's having a little shake of his head and a smile to himself. I think it's worth taking the 5 points here and running for cover. But you never know with Luca. He's planned to screw back from that awkward position in the jaws of the pocket there.
I'm giving up predicting, Dennis. Absolute
51.
shots he's pulling out. Incredible. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
He's got the one near the black spot that's still on. Well, at the start of this, it didn't look like there was a break on, and he's up to 58.
58. $59.
So he's going to need one more red with the pink.
Yeah, and this will be the best shot of the break if he can land on something here. 5 reds are all horrible. You would think he's got to move something. He had a little look at the red that's nearest to the top right-hand pocket. Maybe he could play with a bit of run inside. He did look at that. But it's this one. Oh, great shot. Great shot. What a break this has been. Absolutely tremendous.
65.
Just showing you what a temperament this player has, as well as, well, all the ability in the world. And he's lost the mini session 3-1, and he's come out after the mid-session interval, and it's just wonderful to watch.
72.
Yeah, he made a 99 break earlier than this session. This break is far superior. Absolutely amazing break from where the balls were positioned. Top class that was. Absolutely top class.
Luca Brecel, 72.
And Mark's thinking about coming to the table, but no, he signalled to the referee. So he only needed the one chance, And Luca Brecel has got himself back into a 3-frame advantage. 8-5.
Thank you. Quiet down. Frame 14.
As ever, beautifully explained
Selby to
from
break.
Dr. Davis.
He could have took his jacket off. Someone just shouting out, "Come on, Luca," but you know, it'd be one of his friends, but he doesn't want to hear that, you know. Sometimes it's a little bit off-putting if someone shouts out your name.
Yeah, I think he's doing all right on his own.
I'm wondering if Mark is going to look at a potential double here in such a way that he could play on the black and not leave anything. Find out shortly if he fancies it. He did, but slightly misjudged.
Little example there of Luca just playing off the pack thick and opening the balls into play, not wanting to be embroiled in any long safety battles. Quite happy to be playing the game on his terms, which is fast and fluent. Well, he'll certainly be having a go at this. Well, green's unlucky, but there's the red in the balk area as well, so as we've mentioned in this tournament, live by the sword, die by the sword. If you miss a few of them, you realise you're going to give your opponent a few chances, but it's the way he plays.
Just a little bit of noise on his backswing there. He did well to stop delivering the cue and get up off the shot.
One.
Okay, straight on the blue, but he's got reds either side of the bunch that he can play on, and a couple of shots time it could be a wonderful chance for Mark Selby, the way those reds are sitting.
Yeah, there's enough room here just to stun this in. Play past the pink for the red on the left hand side. That will give him position on the black.
6. 7.
Just come up a
14.
little bit short. He wanted to slide past the pink, and he would have had a red to the left corner and this one to the right corner. It's not a gimme, this one. No, just his
Selby,
positional
14.
shot. Just let him down slightly there.
Yeah, it's one of those shots that you play with a little bit of side, trace aside, and can easily throw the cue ball off. It's just a natural inclination to stick a bit of side on that shot. Something about this that Luca doesn't like. I think he suspects if he plays the thin clip, he might stick one over the corner. So he's had a look at maybe playing a thicker shot, which he has done. That area of brown and green is starting to look pretty decent if you can get the cue ball in there. And this fella doesn't usually miss a trick when it comes to sticking the cue ball in the worst place. His match play against John Higgins in the quarter-final was just truly outstanding. Yeah, I played that shot to get the object ball across the table and back into the pack, so sacrificed the cue ball with that shot.
Both players are wary of knocking a red over the corner. That's why they're playing the thinner safety shots, but it's the player that can get over behind the brown or green that's going to gain the advantage here. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's about the best he could have done from there. Pink's blocking off the path to the right hand side of the red, so that's not available. May just be a couple of cushions and drop into the pack here. Not much else, Dennis, is there?
And he'd have to judge that perfectly, otherwise he'll leave a pot on. He's coming around to have a look at that, but he's got to be a little bit careful with that. That's what he's looking at, but he's got to be careful. Judged to perfection there.
Wow, is there a gap to knock this red in? It was. Unfortunately. Oh, I tell you what, that wasn't the worst little rub at the end there. If that cue ball had gone past that red, it was a sitter in the top right-hand pocket. So that wasn't a bad little run of the ball there. And, of course, he's not the red in the balk area, so you can't play safe down there. So, good little run of the ball there for Luca. And now, Dennis, this is probably looking like one of the most protracted frames so far this evening's session. It looks like there's going to be a little bout of safety because of that red in the balk area.
And there's another one heading up to join it. So the safety area is definitely this cushion behind the black spot.
Starting to look like a table in your club handicap, isn't it? This blue down the other end, yellow, green, brown. Not particularly appetising.
There was a couple of frames against Mark Allen in the semi-final where they looked at each other and just re-racked the balls again. Of course, Mark's got an 18-point advantage, so you're always reluctant to let that go.
Yeah, I just wondered whether if he looks at him and asks him the question whether Mark would do it, or whether he considers himself to be favourite for a frame like this.
Doesn't want to leave it touching.
Touching ball, Mark.
And it is touching, so easy to get. See where the tip of his cue is? If he can put the cue ball tight on the cushion there, it'll give him the slight advantage.
Yeah, just to roll up again seems like the most prudent thing to do. Mark was having a look to see if there was a cut back in the corner there, but pretty risky. Contemplating it.
So difficult to judge when you're that close to it, but he fancies it. And this will certainly open things up. Oh, he's flipped one. Wow. Where did that one pop its head out from? Once he missed the cutback, I thought he was going to leave Luca right in amongst them, but somehow that red disappeared up into the corner pocket. Have a look at this. Wow.
Yeah, well, so far for Luca Brecel it doesn't hurt that much, but it would if Mark Selby knocked the colour in.
You put a little quick one in, he's usually very smooth, but we were right down
Mark
his
Selby.
cue there, and he delivered the cue not as smoothly as he normally would, but there was a lot of pressure. Just watch the cue action here. When see his right hand come out to the right slightly there, which is very unlike Mark Selby, but he didn't quite deliver the cue through in a straight line there.
So, mid-range pot for Luca. Could pay dividends here. It's there. Once again, great potting. As I mentioned earlier, slightly messy table this.
A bit of a messy table in the last frame, and he made a break of 72 from nowhere. He might do it again. He's so talented.
Now, I'm just looking to see whether it mustn't have the angle, because you'd like to pot the red, cannon on the yellow, and at least get the blue down the table as well, but can't be the angle he likes.
6.
So he can play the gap. Good shot. So he's got the blue, but not straightforward down the end of the table to land on something.
He may even have thought about cannoning into the 3 reds near the black. This is going to come up a bit short. He's going to have to take the one to the right corner. He wanted to be further across the table for the easier pot, but sometimes he makes every pot look easy.
Whoever's got the sweet wrapper, can you just put it down, please?
Yeah, someone's got a sweet out and you can hear the wrapper. Amazing.
Oh, that is beautiful. Well, I was about to say, Dennis, if you were in the club, you'd play this with a slow drag on left-hand side and check for the black, but I didn't think he'd be playing it like that in the World Final. Beautiful shot.
Oh, it's stuck on the red. It's going to be awkward
90.
queuing now. Couldn't have played it much better, but that little cannon there has just left the white very close to the red. Might be able to cue the more difficult pot. Yeah, he can just get to this one. Look at this for a floating shot into the middle pocket.
20.
Yeah, great shot. And a very important one. If he'd have been missing that one, he'd have been leaving the world for Mark Selby. So that had to go in.
25. $26.
We've said numerous times about Ronnie O'Sullivan being able to take his practice game out into the match arena. This is another young player that's able to do that. I did 3 sessions of his semi-final with Xi Jiawei, and it was just, you know, I've never commentated on 3 sessions like it. It was
33.
brilliant, John.
Yeah, one of them was just absolutely stupendous, wasn't it? Both players were just wonderful. CJW come out and played 3 brilliant frames of snooker, and he didn't win another frame. Incredible. Luca was
34.
immense, but he's been wonderful through the entire tournament. Say 10-9 first round against Ricky Walden. Sneaked over the line. First time he'd won a match at the Crucible. And he's been very good ever since. And I'm going on about the Mark Williams game because that was the one for me
41.
where I thought, you're a proper player.
.42.
Starting to get much more difficult now. It was a messy table, as we said, when he came to it, but he's already on a break of 42, and there's 2 more reds that are accessible.
Yeah, what I really like about the way he's going about this is he's playing the game on his own terms, Dennis.
49.
And not getting bogged down in long safety battles. The balls are generally open. It has to be said, he had a little bit of fortune
50.
early in the frame, and he could have easily left Mark in, but he's playing with a fluency that suits himself and suits his own game. I bet you Mark Selby is a little bit surprised by this. He knows
54.
Luca's a great player, that's for sure, but he's surprised how well he's playing.
55.
He needs the blue, and somehow he needs to get another red in colour. He's got a good angle on the blue. He can go either side of the table. He's got to be careful he doesn't slip around the back of this red. What a shot he's played there. What a shot that
Wow.
60.
Put that one on the highlights reel. What a shot that was. Perfection.
and played it at the pace
61.
that he wasn't going to knock it past the middle pocket. That was the most impressive thing about that last shot. .47 ahead.
66.
He'd like to see this red disappear into the opposite middle pocket. He'd like to see it disappear. And it's in.
57.
Because Mark Selby would have definitely been coming back to the table had that red not have gone in.
Luca Brecel, 67.
Yes, he nods to the referee and he concedes the frame. And Luca Brecel, another brilliant break from nowhere, and now he extends his lead to 9 frames to 5.
Yes, and he's also halfway for that magic figure of 18 frames that he's going to need to be crowned world champion. And boy, is he putting the show on for us this evening. He's been absolutely tremendous, and Mark Selby is playing very well indeed.
Thank you, frame 15.
He just can't make any inroads.
Luca Brecel to break.
Here's that shot again, Dennis. As I say, they just can't get the cue ball in behind the green. Every time they break off, keeps leaving this red.
Oh, where's the red going to finish? Is the green going to come to the rescue? You bet it is. There's a bit of pressure on that. He's knocked a good few of those in from the break off, but not this time, but not a bad result.
Yeah, what's he going to pick out here?
Oh, attention all pockets. Wow. It looked a bit wild, but he thought he was somehow going to be able to knock that in, but it just scattered the reds all over the table.
One.
Oh, what a chance for Mark Selby.
Six. Seven. Eleven. Twelve.
So a little bit of work to be done with the cue ball here. Not obviously, Mark would like to get in around the black spot sooner rather than later, but just got to be careful with this particular shot coming up. Doesn't want to run behind this red, and he hasn't. Couldn't play that much better.
14.
As I'm saying that, can he play the shot with the red and not cannon the black? I'd love to be able to just get through the gap and back out for the black again.
Well, he didn't get the reverse side on that. That's a very bad mistake from Mark Selby there. Played to screw back with reverse side and then didn't get the side on it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to play between the gap and red and black and come back off the cushion with a little bit of side and play into that gap, but he tried to take that out and then consequently didn't get into the cue ball. So there's a real collector's item, that particular positional shot. Not like him at all.
Yellow ball. Mark Selby, 50.
There's a couple of shots not very like Mark Selby. But put a bit of pressure on this next shot. Look at this one he's taking on. This is far from easy. Well, this is just wonderful cueing. I mean, look at the action he's got on that.
Yeah, Dennis, too good, wasn't it?
Luca Brecel,
absolutely
1.
too good. That absolutely pure.
It doesn't have to fill you full of confidence when you pull a shot like that off, though. Having to have a good look around here, see which red he can try and land on. I mean, even the one to the left of the black, if he tried that, he'd leave a couple of pots to the right middle. And how does he get to land on the one near the left side cushion? If he could, looking at the reds, they might all be covering each other into the left corner, but how do you get to land on that red? Could possibly go across the table once, past the blue and just nestle on it. All depends what's available into the left corner there. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, they're sort of covering each other.
Yeah, if he can drop on that red that's on the side cushion, get onto that dead weight, you wouldn't be leaving anything. Well, if you did, maybe the red next to the black might go, but it wouldn't be easy. So he's going to have a look where he's pointing his cue now. If he could get the cue ball in there, that's about the best he can do. Because everything else is in the open in the table.
Yeah, well, that was a shot I thought about initially, as long as the reds wouldn't go. So
You've got to flick a bit aside on this, hasn't he, Dennis, just to widen the angle here. And then get absolute dead weight. If you can get in there, you may get out of trouble.
have a look at the two reds there to see if they're a plant or a potential plant. He could maybe play that. He'd be playing the safety shot, but you know how good Mark Selby is at this type of situation.
Well, if he pulls it off, Luca will be absolutely sick where he's left the cue ball. Just clipping off the other red. He's left Mark this opportunity. But it hasn't cost him. Very good shot. Certainly a very dangerous table. This one mistake could be very costly with the way these balls are positioned. Particularly for Mark Selby being 9-5 behind. And the way his opponents played this evening. Got to be very careful. If Luca could play off the red on the left-hand side and bring the cue ball in between green and brown, that's where you'd like to get the cue ball. You have the blue covering one side of the pack, and you'd force Mark to have to play down the right-hand side. Too thick. Could have played the easy safety, but went for the red. Can't criticise him, it's the way he plays.
Yeah, just caught it on the thick side, that was all.
One.
Wonderful chance now for Mark Selby. Another 2 frames to be played after this one. Playing 9 frames in this session.
Seven.
Yeah, so red away from the black spot onto the black. A pretty decent chance.
Eight.
And removing this red clears the black for both
15.
corners.
Sixteen.
Yeah, no real travel with the cue ball here at the moment. Total screws and stuns.
23. $24. $31. $32.
Of course, when this red is potted, it'll be the other loose red
37.
that's next to the pink and the red. So 51 points in front already. This red, black and another red. We'll see
38.
Mark Selby closing the gap to 3. Been an important visit, this. I know they all are, but the way the session's been going, Luca getting on top. He'll be very happy with this, Mark Selby.
45. $46. $53. 54.
Very, very high standard here this evening. Might be able to run round with a lot of top spin to cannon that one near the pink. Not quite.
61. Mark
No,
Selby,
it's not there.
61.
An excellent
And the
frame
frame.
from Mark Selby. Little nod of the head there from Luca Brecel. And Mark Selby closes the gap to 3. It's now 9-6.
Huh? Thank you. Frame 16. Mark Selby to break.
Always very interesting listening to the boys there with Hazel. But the break-off shot, that's a couple of times it sent a red right next to the black and put it out of the game early on. Good length with the cue ball though.
Yeah, two very big frames coming up, Dennis, isn't there? Yeah, I think if I'm Luca, I wouldn't mind sharing the two of them. Mind having a 10-7 lead, that'd be nice. What I wouldn't really feel like doing is losing both and only being 9-8. Not with the way he's played today. He's been the better player.
Well, he's indicating that okay, he's got away with it, but the way he indicated that the white drifted to the right as he looks at it, He put his hand up as if to indicate the white was rolling off.
Yeah, well, I spoke to the fitter in the mid-session interval and mentioned about this side of the table looks like it's pulling over, and it's certainly dropping in the middle on the other side, so it's got an appointment with the spirit level after this session.
Right, here we go. Well, he goes back to his seat smiling. He put everything into that to hold for the black. I thought he was going to power that one in, but he played a delicate little one.
One.
The reason I thought he was going to power it in, John, was, but if the table was drifting slightly when he played that shot, it wasn't
8.
straightforward at that pace.
Yeah, good point.
Nine.
I say just the 3 loose reds at the moment, so Mark will have to come to the problem of developing that pack a little bit later in the break. But he's an absolute master of escapism, is Mark
16.
Selby. And when he's in sessions where the other players seem to be playing better than him, he can always make a decent result out of a bad situation.
70.
What the top players do. John Higgins, another master at it.
There's a good chance to open up, because if he's stun, it looks as if he's just going to play for the single red. I thought he was going to stun into them because of those 2 reds, because he was bound to finish on one of them, and he'd have opened the reds up. If he leaves it to the last minute,
24.
he can stick in the back of the reds, or if he's coming from the blue, probably would be better. But
25.
going into them this time, is he? See? Oh, he's okay. He's got one to the middle pocket. I thought he was going to stick in the back of them there.
Yeah, he hit
32.
that beautifully, didn't he? So much topspin. Just about arced in time.
$33.
Fabulous. What a match player this fella is. Absolutely outstanding.
He certainly can mix it. He can play any type of game. I mean, he's one of the greatest break builders the game's ever seen. He can slow it down. He's got a wonderful tactical game, but he's showing us here, if he gets a chance,
41.
he's going to score heavily.
Yeah, the best players just sense danger, don't they? Sense an opportunity to turn it all round and find it from somewhere. Can't teach that sort of thing. It's in the player themselves. That will to win.
$48. 49.
Once again, pinpoint with the cue ball.
56.
Exactly where you'd want it. So good he can even cue through the gap. This has been some session this evening.
57.
We've had absolutely everything. And the quality from both players, outstanding.
I think the scene was set in the opening frame when he cleared up with 134.
64.
He can still get back onto the black here. Just making certain, so he'll want to secure the frame, and then we know what he'll be thinking about.
Yeah. 65.
I didn't really want to mention it with the circumstances the way they are. You think you just want to win the frame, but you're quite right. You will be thinking.
That's finished a little awkward.
72.
Just needs one more red to secure the frame.
Isn't it always the way? Just one more red, and that's the poorest positional shot he's played in this break. Everything else has been exemplary.
Right, here we go then. That's the frame safe. Well, he might be on the one to the left middle. He could be okay here.
80.
Yeah, it was good to stand back and have a look at that angle, try and get it in your mind's eye. It's just difficult into a blind pocket, particularly when the balls are close together. It's there.
81.
This Crucible crowd are buzzing. There's a lot of them here that would have never seen a maximum break
88.
made live. He's got that tough red on the cushion.
£89.
£40,000 bonus for a maximum break. Kyron Wilson's got that at the moment, plus the high break prize, 15,000. If it happens again, it will be shared. He's done it on 4 occasions, Mark Selby.
96. $97.
Yeah, it's just going to be that red that's on the left-hand side cushion. Played it well, got the cue ball high, perfect angle.
104. 105.
Now, what does he do? He probably try and drop in behind it, because no good canning it out if you're not going to leave yourself on the black. He's dropping in behind it.
112.
Could not be any better. Absolutely perfect position. What an effort this has been.
120. $122.
Well, as I mentioned, he's made 4 maximum breaks. He's never made one at the Crucible. This is unbelievable.
$125.
Got to be perfect. The tension is unbearable. He's got to be perfect on the blue.
$129.
He has
134.
achieved everything in the game, John. Another milestone if he can pot pink and black.
Yeah. Cue ball down off the top cushion. It's there. This black tennis for the most unbelievable break.
Wow, just listen to this crowd. Take a bow! Mark Selby! What a maximum break! And look at that! Look, Brecel comes forward and gives him a hug. And Brendan Moore, it's his last final. And he's refereed a maximum break. It's Mark Selby's first ever at the Crucible. Absolutely stunning.
I said, I'm still shaking for you. Thank you. Settle down, please, now. Thank you. The final frame of this session, Luca Brecel to break.
Yes, Hazel, that was just absolutely fantastic.
Settle down now, please.
Fabulous
Thank you.
scenes. I mean, little did we think, as he started that break, Dennis, that he'd be thinking about the maximum. It was just about winning the frame, and closing that deficit, but we got an absolute treat there. What a brilliant break it was. And everybody in the crowd has been treated to a very special session this evening. Very special indeed.
That's a great opening pot with the white near the cushion there. Needs another one because he's close to the side cushion. He's played it well, and if he's on the black after this next red, he can clear the black spot area.
6.
That's okay. Just run through.
Seven.
This is a wonderful chance for Luca Brecel after
14.
having to sit and watch that majestic maximum break. This is
50.
key if he can take this frame and hold a 3-frame advantage. It'll be job well done with the way his opponent has played here, John.
Yeah, you know, Dennis, this has really been one of the
22.
best World Finals I've seen. The standard has been absolutely fabulous. It's had everything so far in these opening 2 sessions, including that wonderful maximum break, but it's just been
23.
played so well by both players. Mark Selby, you know he's going to hang in there. You know he's going to give everything. But this is a very big visit for Luca Brecel. He's played really well today. He'll be disappointed with the way he's played today if he doesn't have that 10-7 lead. It's been some final so far. Absolutely brilliant stuff from both boys.
Thank you. 29.
There's only really
30.
a couple of more reds that are potable. The one to the left of the bunch is not on really. May go to the middle, but he can certainly open things up here.
Yeah, I like the way he played that. If he'd have played that too low on the cue ball, he could have lost the white there. So he played it slightly higher with a bit more force, so the cue ball couldn't run away.
Thanks.
Yeah,
36.
that's a pretty good positional shot for Luca if he wants to. Stun the red and leave the blue into the green pocket. It's an option.
$37.
Even though he disturbed a few, there's still
42.
only a couple of reds available to him.
He's just scrapping for the white here. Can't quite get it.
Thanks. 43.
And he keeps nudging the reds, but you know, that little bunch of 6 reds, they're still not opening up. Needs to run. It's coming up just a little bit short, but he can get to the blue.
48.
And from the blue, if he needs a cannon. See, they're all covering each other there. He took his eye off the pot there. I don't
Luca
think he should
Brecel.
have played that
48.
one. He should have just concentrated and got on the blue, John.
You know, Dennis, I was just about to say, it's getting to a dangerous part of the frame, this, where you just want to make sure you don't miss anything silly, because the table's going to be pretty good aside from that red on the right-hand side. He was just getting to the point where 2 or 3 more reds and colours were going to have him over the line. The amount of times you see a shot missed at that stage, it's unbelievable.
He's lost the cue ball. He's lost the cue ball.
1.
I tell you what, Dennis, if he pots one from there, I'm giving up commentating.
Green ball. Mark Selby.
Good shot. Because he had to keep the green in play, because he's 47 points behind. Luca would be reluctant to move that one the right side of the table. That's a little bit of insurance for him, the one near the middle pocket.
He's just got to be a bit careful with this one, in case he doesn't knock something over the corner. That's why he played it with more pace.
I think the white's in, John.
Yeah, top of the table for Marky. Appreciated that shot from Luca. Played with pace to bring it back into the middle of the table, that red.
Have a go at this free shot.
First thing Mark did was look at, see if he could play the red on the right hand side and get it off the cushion, but yellow's blocking that shot off. He'd like to get all the balls out into the open, so there was a potential counter clearance.
Where's the red going to finish? Where's the white going to finish? He might be able to push him right up tight against the green here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking at the long pot. Yeah, he's definitely looking at it again, because he knows if it goes in, it could be a frame winner. It's an easy snooker in behind the green. But we know the way he plays the game. Is he going in behind the green? Yeah, you bet. Oh, well, that was a lapse in concentration there.
Do you know what, Dennis? That was so important. It really was. If he'd have got in tight behind that green, Mark was in a load of trouble. play off the reds just past the pink. He's just worried about playing it with pace and knocking something towards the corner, so be careful here, nice and thin. Got it thick. Got it thick. That's trouble. Yep, that's the shot you had to get thin.
I think the big error was before when he didn't get tight in behind the green, John. That would have more or less put him favoured for the frame. A very important last frame.
One. Six.
Yeah, had the option of going the other side of the pink with the two reds, but chose to come the left-hand side. Just got to avoid the cannon on the red that's on the top cushion. So, change your plan. Yeah, played the little stun out to make sure he didn't do that.
7.
He's made some very important clearances already in this year's championship, but this will be right up there if he can get out of this session 9-8.
Yeah, he lost the first session 6-2. If he can pinch this frame, he wins the session 6-3. And, well, what a day we're going to be in for tomorrow,
40.
Regardless of what happens in this frame. But look at just little laps. Just that
50.
one shot. And it was so easy to get tight in behind the green. You could tell by his expression when he went back to his seat, he knew he'd made a blunder.
$21.
Straight might be awkward if it's straight on both reds. And there's a slight angle on that one. Now this one, can he screw back and get a little bit of a fair side? No, he can follow through. There's a slight angle he feels, not a lot.
22. $28.
Yep, he can reach over, I think, to cue this. These are pretty tricky. Need a lot of attention. The near jaw, they won't go in. Ooh, made
29
to me. I didn't see that one dropping in, Dennis, and hit the near jaw.
Yeah, a few of them have wobbled in the jaws and somehow got in, but once you hit the cushion, they should stay there, but we've seen it a few times.
Yeah, clever little shot, just held the spot there, so blue go up on the available one, which
34.
is green. Now he's negotiated that very difficult red. It's there for him, but of course it's the enormity of the situation.
.35.
Luca looking up at the monitor. This was the shot. He just had to roll tight in behind the green, and oh, he was so disappointed with that shot.
I'll tell you what, Dennis, Mark will be disappointed with his last one as well. Hasn't come high enough for the black or low enough for the pink. This is going to take a bit of work to get on the last red. So much so, he can't get on it. So that shot before was very surprising. Not like Mark Selby at all.
42.
Which means we're going to have a lot of tension now for the remainder of this final frame.
Mark Selby, 42.
Very good visit. He'll be a little disappointed he didn't clear up there, but didn't waste the shot like Mark Selby doesn't. But Luca in lots of trouble, and as ever, it's not just hitting it. Can you get it safe? It looks like he's going to have to swerve it, Dennis, as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, the middle pocket slightly in the way. He needs loads of side on this. You can see he's hitting the white out on the extreme right-hand side because the middle pocket is right in the line. So if he hits before the middle pocket, he's got to get a lot of side on this.
Yeah, if Luca gets out of this, he'll be doing very well to leave it safe. You can hit it. I fancied him hitting it, but not getting it safe. It's always on the cards that you have to get. It's 50-50. So chance number 2 for Mark Selby.
The blue's gone into a slightly awkward place for getting nicely onto the yellow, provided he knocks this red in.
One.
So it's not straightforward to drop nicely onto the yellow.
Yeah, needs a bit of thinking about this. How do you get on the yellow? That blue is a right blocker.
Yeah, he'd have to get somewhere near the circle if he's going to play to leave it into the normal pocket you'd pot it. He could leave it for the other pocket past the brown.
Yep, very good positional shot required here. Can he get into the cue ball to hold it? He's always going to run on the angle he had. It's pretty good effort.
8.
Now, can he put the yellow and play the cannon on the blue and hold for the green? Little soft cannon, but this is full of pressure. Such a big frame.
Mark Selby, 8.
Well, it looked as if he would have had a go and played John's shot, but he's decided to play the easy snooker. Just trying to put distance between. Where's the yellow going? Is it going to go onto the... Oh. He seemed to hit that one a little bit hard. So Mark Selby's choice to play the snooker seems to be paying off.
way he's lining up there, he thinks he can get enough work in the cue ball. There's not much distance between cue ball and yellow here. He's going to strike down, but he can do it without playing the push shot. So what a chance to pinch this final frame, and what a session for Mark Selby. Lots of it, big parts of it, his opponent's been dominating, but when his back's against the wall, what a competitor this man is. A maximum break
5
thrown in as well, and another unbelievable session of snooker from two top-class players. Been an absolute joy. Can he finish it off?
Nine.
Just the blue needed. Get up off the shot. Getting back down to make absolutely certain. Just the one snooker needed, so Luca will be coming back to the table.
What a competitor, Dennis. What a competitor. Absolutely
Mark Selby,
legendary.
40.
To find that level of play when you need it most. Very few are capable.
That's a bit pacey, so just make sure you don't let the white ball run free. Normally you'd get down and cut this in to the corner pocket, but the white would go dangerously close to the middle pocket. That's why he didn't bother, but this is close to going in. This is very close to going in. And in it goes, played by Mark Selby. He lost the first session, 6-2. He's bounced back this evening with breaks of 134 and a maximum break. And he takes this session 6 frames to 3. What a final we've got on our hands tomorrow.